All right, next up we got Def. So let's see how he goes. All right, so we got the SNG starting spawn, and okay, mistake number one. Why didn't you go straight to the mega health? There's no point not picking it up. You may as well go mega health and then just straight to red. Another little tip I would put in just there is if you're shooting upwards, it is very hard to hit people with a nail gun unless they're running in a straight line. So if he was going straight up to red, then it's easy to lead with your aim with nail gun. If not, you may as well just be tapping shotgun. Okay, why didn't you shoot that guy when you were jumping across? Let's just go and see who that was. He didn't have any stack, but if you shot him, like if you just shot the wall and did splash damage and didn't quite kill him, especially in dm3, if you're running around with like 20 or 30 health and a shotgun, you may as well suicide. It's like you're going to waste health packs getting your stack back up again, but you haven't even gotten a weapon to use it with. If you get someone that low that hasn't got a weapon to do anything, it's like you almost may as well just leave them, not even bother to get the frag, because they're beyond useless. A freshly spawned shotgun enemy is much more dangerous than a 20 health one. All right, so this is nice. We got a quad rocket launcher. We can do some damage. Our team, like we're well in control right now. We've got red covered. So yeah, going to water right now is a good idea. And what you could be doing, your single shotgun. So if you had been using shoddy, then you would have been doing a lot more damage because it's pretty easy to dodge rockets from that far away. Ah, okay, okay. All right, next thing. So your quad is just about to run out. All right. First of all, you're too slow to react on that. You got to be assuming that an enemy could be coming from somewhere, right? So if you're strafing up along here and you're looking down this way, you got to be ready to just pull the trigger immediately when you see an enemy coming through here, because you don't know what they could have. Like they could have a shaft, they could have a rocket launcher. So like so quick reactions are one thing, but if your reactions aren't amazing, then what you need to do to compensate for that is have really good crosshair placement so that you don't even have to aim anywhere. You just pull the trigger. So as you're strafing up here, you should have your crosshair trained on a spot that's going to be like a high percentage shot with your rocket launcher. So if you basically just aim at the ground right here as you're going through there, then as soon as you see the enemy, you can just click straight away. You don't have to like adjust your aim anywhere. Just click and you'll at least hit them. And this guy, he had a rocket launcher, right? So fighting in his position, fighting you with a rocket launcher, yeah, there's a wall right behind you, but it's difficult to get like a direct hit on, right? So if you have shot here and pushed him back slightly, it would have made it a lot harder for him to hit you. And having the high ground, you could him coming through here, you pop a rocket off here, and what you can do is slide over here, and then he hasn't got line of sight on you because you've pushed him backwards over there, and then you can just spam here like you had a few rockets to spare at the time. So that could have saved you health. It could have saved you, well, your life because you die here. And like you died with, like you had a stack, a rocket launcher, and a shaft. So you're super dangerous. And the reason that you died here was because your reactions were too slow. B, you didn't have good crosshair placement, so you could immediately just shoot as soon as you got line of sight of him. And you've allowed him to take a better position to actually take you out. So that's quite lucky. You've gotten the packs, and you've gotten the yellow, so you've like restacked yourself immediately, which is good. Okay, right now there's a couple of things. All right, so first of all, look at the overlay. You don't need to hold on to those packs. Second thing, we've got Drax is at RL. I am at Ring. All right, so you'd safe to say that the water side of the map is the more dangerous side. You haven't got a shaft, so you can't just instant zap people to their deaths with quad. So you need to protect your stack a little bit. I would recommend at least going forward, seeing if there's a mega health up. If not, I would not go window. I would go either I get health down here, and then come back around, or I would just go straight up through high yellow. Because then at least here, if there's any enemies coming through the bridge, you've at least got position and you've got quad, so you'll kill them in one shot. So I wouldn't have jumped down at that. Let's just go back and see exactly what happens. Okay, another thing that I just noticed is while you were standing here waiting for the quad, I heard a teleport, right? So you want to be thinking, do I need to defend against this entry point to quad? If you had have heard that teleport sound and just point your crosshair on here, then as you could have done a prediction rocket, like if you were confident that it wasn't one of us, or at least then you could have just immediately rocketed that the ground there as soon as he came through, and just killed him instantly and taken less damage. But as it is, like you've got you're watching someone else, so you're gonna cop a few more cells before you can actually turn and attack him. It's worked out okay to that point, but you were a little bit lucky that he didn't get you any lower. And you should definitely have not jumped down to the mound at this point, right? Because in your field of view, you can see that the mega is not up, right? So there's no reason to go down there. What you want to do is stay on this little angle bit here, stay there. If you want an easier shot to kill them with splash damage, just jump. And then as you reach the apex of your jump, you've got a better like angle for doing a splash rocket on these two guys. Probably would have killed them easy. But as it was, like you've jumped, you're going to fall down. And with 24 health left, you'll be lucky to survive. So you've gone from, like, if we took the perfect way of dealing with that situation, right? So if you had waited here for quad, heard the teleport sound, had your aim trained here, instant kill this guy, you probably would have still had about 90 health and like 130 armor at that point. And then if you had walked forward and just done your jump shot rocket to splash kill these two guys, like even if they'd both hit you with shoddy, you'd still be at like 100 armor, 70 health. So you would have been in a much better position. And then with that amount of stack, you could push into yellow or water and clear that out a little bit if you wanted to. But as it is, you're going to be lucky to survive with 10 health. And you didn't survive. Also, when we're talking like decision making, at the point where you were down here with 10 health, I would not be going up and around to copper red, because if anyone comes through here with a shotty, they kill you in one shot, and that's what happened. So I would probably prefer to go around mega side, because then at least you know hopefully the 25 health is up here. You've got 40 health here, and then you're at least not going to get killed by a shotgun enemy. Whereas going up to red armor, you're too exposed for too long. Also, like let's say that you encounter an enemy in this area versus encountering an enemy this area, right? If let's say that you've jumped across here, like there's no cover, right? You can't duck behind anything. Let's say that you had to gone this way, and let's say that you turn this corner and there's an enemy there. You can just step out, right, and just maybe do a prediction rocket. Hopefully you kill them, and then or let's say that you got to this point and you've seen someone, or you can quickly go through the teleporter, or you can drop back here. Like you've got more options. Like there's more cover. All right, so the situation here is you've got a shaft, but only 16 cells. Basically, the short version is if you've got cells, save it for fighting an enemy who's got a rocket launcher. All right, so you've spent almost all of your cells on killing just a fresh spawn enemy who's no danger to anyone. You should have just maybe put a shotgun into him and then gone through the portal and looked for a weapon, or gone and got a bit more stack. Because now, what have you got left to fight this guy with? Or anyone? See, now you've... that's what I'm saying. If you had have taken that fight with Miyagi with all of those cells, like he was in a perfect place to shaft, because he can't really dodge in that section of the boxes. So you could have just shafted him straight down, and then copped a rocket launcher, and then been on your way fragging. But as it is, like you got nothing. Like you're gonna stack. Yeah, you bumming around the water like a bum. Taking extra weapons like a bum. No, I don't need to. Do I need to keep this in the thing? No. At this point, we haven't really got much control going on. The rest of our team is water side. If you check the overlay, so that we've got 2 of us are at yellow, and 1 is at the water. So you can assume that enemy is probably holding RA at this point. So you should be asking what the status is of it. Okay, now let's just go back slightly. Okay, now you've just heard it was close by that someone got killed by an enemy rocket launcher. You have a shaft and you've got a ton of cells and you've got a reasonable stack. If I haven't mentioned it already, which I probably will mention it over and over again, the key to retaking control when you're out of control is getting a shaft, getting a stack, and catching an enemy in a bad position or catching them by surprise. One way that's like a really easy way to kill people when you're surprising them is to stand under here, and when they come through, like they want to restock, they want to get their red armor, like because they've taken a few hits in a fight. They're coming up here, they jump across here, and you're underneath here, and you just shaft them up and you pin them against the roof and you kill them usually quite easily. And then even if you don't pin them, like it's quite easy to aim shaft at enemies standing up there, right? So you're in a good position right now if anyone jumps across here, which, oh, hey, someone's just about to. Not that you could have known that, but it's the kind of thing that you have to be prepared for so that when it happens, you can do what you need to do. So this would be the perfect opportunity. Marcus has got a reasonable stack here, but you have the surprise and position advantage. So what you need to do is, if you stand about here, this is kind of like the ideal spot to shaft, because if you're here, like if you're back further, then you might push them away out of range of your shaft. And also, like the more vertically you can shaft someone, you push them up harder, and it just fucks with their aim, and it makes it easier to pin them. So yeah, you want to be standing around about here. You do not want to be standing under here, because like you haven't got line of sight of him, and he can just kill you with splash rockets without taking any damage at all, right? So when you're coming through here with a shaft, a bit of a stack, that's the thing you got to be prepared for. Enemy coming up here and jumping across, right? So you want to stick to here, and see if you can get an idea. If you do step out, you want to step out enough so that you can angle your aim and see if anyone is there. right? If no one's there, okay, yeah, make your way up, right? Because at least like if no one's there, and let's say that he's about to come through there, if you get to here by the time that someone comes through that doorway, you've got a much better chance with shaft than what you do standing underneath here. Okay, that's probably enough on this one. All right, that might not have looked like much just then, but you really wasted an opportunity, and I'll show you why. All right, so you've got super nail gun. All right, first of all, I don't know if it was really worth going in there to finish off that kill. You should have stayed and waited for the yellow. And then secondly, after you kill this guy, you can see they've got quad on the bridge. So what you should be doing, instead of running away facing this way, what you should do is just strafe and backpedal and spam your super nail gun, because you could safely expect the quad. He's seen you. He's probably going to chase you because he wants kills, obviously. So if you had a backpedaled and just spammed your nail gun into here, he would have had to cop a fair bit of damage to chase you and get that kill. But if you just run away without putting up any sort of fight, it's like you haven't drained his stack at all. All right, so if you're gonna die, at least be as useful as you can before you die. I think everyone has dueled Dirtbox enough on DM4 to understand that nail gun is actually a useful thing, um, and you should definitely spam it at every opportunity. All right, so Pent's just about to come out. I've just picked it up. All right, what did you do wrong there? You slow spawned. Okay, when at the 5, 10, 15 minute mark, they're like critical points of the game, and there's no fucking point wasting them slow spawning. Right? You need to get back out there and contest the quad, contest the ring, or at least if you can't contest those things, be trying to deny them other resources. Slow spawning, it's like there's no point. Okay, like if they're in lockdown, they're just spawn raping everyone. Then okay, maybe that's kind of the only time where you would consider slow spawning. But otherwise, you want to get back into it immediately so that you can at least contest and do something. If you're jumping through there and you see that Mega's up, like you should either go and get it or you should call that it's up. Sorry about that. All right, right now you've got a stack, and we have nothing. You should be heading to water to try and get a shaft or a rocket launcher. There's no point for you picking up a red right now. It's not going to really add enough of your stack to be worth the time. You may as well back us up at water and try and pick up a weapon so that you can be useful. So for the last 2 minutes, you've been hanging around red, and not really doing anything else. At least you're not giving away any frags. That's a positive, and it's actually a positive. Um, but you're not really being too useful, right? So if you're not really sure what you should be doing, you should be collecting resources to A, to build yourself up, and B, to deny them to the enemy. And uh, like even just going to grab nail gun, like super nail gun from the boxes, that's useful. You could go and check mega health at the boxes, that's useful. You should be going for quad right now. When when you're outside and you hear a teleport sound, you want to at least turn and look at the window while you're strafing over to that mega health, because you've got a shaft and a rocket launcher. What if an enemy jumps through the window and shooting freaking rockets at you? Right? You want to at least be ready to attack them. Like I was saying a couple of times, crosshair placement is very important. It takes away a lot of the requirement to have good reactions, right? If you point it in the correct direction, you don't need to react as quickly or as much. I want to say that you could have done that better. Okay, so you've done well. You've got a little bit of a stack. You've got a rocket and you got a shaft. So it would be, where's the team overlay? Okay, so you're the only one with weapons at the moment. There's two of us at quad hanging around to contest it, but we've only got shotgun. We've got no staff. We can't really do anything with it. You should be the one going for this quad right now. Okay, so first mistake is jumping down. You should not have jumped down. All right, you could have easily taken that, done exactly the same thing you did in that fight from up top. Secondly, your rocket launcher aim is a bit shit at the moment. But it would have been much easier to hit shots on those guys if you were shafting them. Yeah, no, that was fine. Like you did well. He just caught you while you were busy shooting someone else. There's not really much better that you could have done at red just then. But I will say that you would have had more health. You probably would have been able to jump over to get the quad, and then you would have had better position coming into red with a quad and a shaft and a rocket launcher. So yeah, that could have been a lot better if you had just stayed on the platform rather than jumping down. All right, I don't know why you didn't go for that mega to begin with. I haven't got comms, so I don't know what was. Maybe there was some information that would have changed things, but like you've wasted about at least 10, 15 seconds by not going to get that mega straight away. Mate, it's happening over and over and over again. You need to stop jumping down off that platform. The quad is just about to come up. You have a bit of a stack, and you've got a grenade launcher, which can be very fucking useful. Um, I'm gonna put money on Marcus, who's jumping across right now, on having a weapon and cleaning up a quad. So let's just say, all right, so he's got a rocket launcher. He's totally stacked. If you had been there, you could have at least contested it and probably pumped like a grenade or two into him and made his life a lot harder. Let's just see what happens. Whoa! Whoa! Mate, what? Why didn't you shoot that guy just then? Hang on. All right, so we've got Muncher coming in here. And what happened here was Drax had a rocket launcher. Muncher got shot into him and killed him with nail gun. And I suppose you were trying not to kill your teammate, but if you had have shafted in that last half second or so, you might have saved Drax's life and gotten a kill because that guy shouldn't have got through. Hopefully you do something good here because quad's about to come up and you've got a shaft. Dude, gotta stop fucking jumping down. Like, yeah. Come on, man. Don't stop it. Oh, fuck. let's go back. All right, let's play out this situation, and see what could have happened if you didn't jump down. All right, so from this point, Mix, he's just jumped across. He's hit you with a rocket, and he's probably going to expect you to come through here. I would be stepping over here because then you've got good line of sight, and you can just tap him with shaft and kill it. Okay. Even given that he jumped down. Okay, if you had have just stayed here, you kill this guy. You kill this guy. You probably run out of cells, but like basically you could have definitely killed these two guys and still had most of your stack, and then you'd have a rocket launcher and not be dead. So also your target selection, then you had quad and a shaft, and you're spending your last cells as you die on an enemy that only has a shotgun. Even though Marcus he'd taken like 3 or 4 shots at you by this stage, you should have, like, don't waste quad shaft on enemy shotguns when there's an enemy RL shooting at you. All right, we're at the platform again. Don't jump down. All right, what do we got? Swoop's holding red with a rocket. You're holding mound with a rocket. Drax is at quad with a shaft. Okay, there's no point. Okay, there's no point you jumping down there because you can just stay where you are, and if he comes out, exposes himself to you, you can finish him off. Or if he goes up into RA, like Swoop's got that covered. All right, you don't need to jump down and follow that frag. Like, it probably doesn't matter a whole lot, because you got a okay stack, and we've killed heaps of them in the last minute, so they probably haven't got much to do anything to you. But oh wait, they've got a fucking rocket launcher guy who had a high ground advantage and surprise advantage on you, and now you're fucking dead. So if there's one thing to take away from this, don't jump down to mound when you've got resources. Just stay the high ground, man, and you'll do heaps better.